One thing that I really liked about this arc, because I have read the manga, is that in this episode of Blue Exorcist, we see Rin and Sugerou actually get development. More so probably Rin in this episode, because when it comes to the whole arc, this arc is mainly focused on Sugerou's character and how he learns some things from this arc. But in this episode, Rin gets development. We actually see them, discussing on things that you would say that would normally hurt a person. That can don't say something that you will regret later on. Sure, we have all done it, numerous times out of anger and out of other things. We were just so angry at the world, or we're jealous of someone. You get my point. But what Rin's point he was trying to make is that do not make the same mistake that I made to my foster father, the person that I really cared about. Don't lash out on your own father, because I lashed out on mine. And the final thing I said to my father was, I hate you. Man, dude. Yo, from season 1, that really struck a chord with me. In season 1, because it opens up your eyes that, we as humans, don't reflect on our past actions that much. But what we saw in this episode is Rin finally realizing that Sugerou is no different from him, And this is what he tells Sugerou. Do not lash out on your father. Don't say something that you will end up regretting, because you might find out that, you might not be able to take that back, so to speak. So seeing the confrontation that Rin had with Sugerou was definitely good. I really like that part of this arc from what I've seen in the manga, because it gives more development towards Rin and also Sugerou as well, which of course we will see later on, but I just wanted to mention that because, that was technically the highlight of this episode. But the main thing that really happened in this episode, besides the confrontation with Sugerou and Rin talking about, their fathers, we actually find out what happens in this arc on who the traitor is, finally. And it turns out to be Mamushi, or Mamushi, however you want to pronounce it. The girl who has, the snake-like powers and also the snake-like tattoo. Apparently, she has been cooperating with Mr. Toto, the demon that we saw in the first episode of this season of Blue Exorcist. And we know that he has the left eye. And Mamushi has brought out the right eye. And then they leave the temple before anyone can, confront them and actually, do something about it. So, this is where we will see in the very next episode. I mean, this episode technically, was, only the icing on the cake for the build-up. Things are now just starting. What we will see in the future episodes is just going to be awesome for, everyone else. Like I stated before, in this coming arc, it's mainly focused on Sugerou's character. It has a lot of build-up, but in this episode, this is where we see everything finally coming into action. But before that, we will have to wait until the very next episode. So this is just the icing on the cake. So Mamushi ends up leaving with Mr. Toto. One of them has the left eye. One of them has the right eye of the Impure King. So, now that the two eyes are together, we will see the revival of the Impure King in the next episode, no doubt. But yeah, one thing that I really wanted to state is that in this episode, I really enjoyed the physics of Shira's breast. Nah, I'm just kidding. Or am I? But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode of Blue Exorcist. It, as I said before, is only the icing on the cake to what we will see in the very next episode. And it shows, Rin's character actually giving development as, he is thinking about his memories with his father and the final moments that he shared with his father, and saying that he hates him. He can never take that back. We know that his father loved him deep down inside, and we know that Rin loved his father deep down inside, but, some things that we say can never be taken back, and that's what Rin is trying to, point out to, Sugerou, because Sugerou also said the same thing, that, I hate you, I never want to see you in my life again. We know that's not true. We know that's not true. And there is definitely more to the story regarding his father. His father tells him that, it's a secret, that, I can't really tell to you or anyone in this sanctum. But we do know that there's more to the story when it comes to his father, as to why he is hiding a lot from everyone from the temple. So to see that in this episode was really great, and also seeing the betrayal of Mom Mushi, actually betraying the temple, and now that she has the right eye of the Impure King, while Mr. Toto has the left, we will eventually see the revival of the Impure King. So, next episode is going to get juicy. I cannot wait to see, everyone's thoughts on what's going to happen, because this arc is pretty good. It is when it comes to, the Impure King. I just really hope they, end it well and not really, rush through it. But yeah, I think that's really the only things that I wanted to point out in this episode that really was the highlight of this episode, so to speak. So definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on what you guys thought about this episode, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Peace.